So let's look at how we can write a program to separate the digits of a 3-digit number. So let's first look at the logic. So if you consider a 3-digit number, let's say my number is 1, 2, 3. You want to print the digits separately. That is, you should print that at ones place my digit is 3, at tens place my digit is 2, and at hundreds place my digit is 1. So to separate the digits, you want to do as follows. If you find the remainder when the number is divided by 10, what will you get? You will get the value 3. So you have separated the ones digit. Now when you divide this number by 100, get the quotient, which is 12, and if you divide this new quotient by 10, get the remainder, you will get the value 2, which means you got the second digit. Again, if you divide the number 12 by 10, you will get the quotient as 1, which is your digit in the hundreds place, which is 1. So this is the logic. So let's write a pseudocode. Okay, so let's assume that you are getting the input from the user. As a number num. So the first step is you want to divide by 10, get the remainder. So I say my new variable num1 is equal to the number, which is num percentage 10. So this gives you the digit in ones place. Next, you should first divide the number by 10. So you will get the value 12 in num2, and then you need to find the remainder when num2 is divided by 10, which will give you the number in tens place. And finally, in the last step, whatever number you got in num2, you should divide that number by 10, which means num4 equal to num2 by 10, and you will get the number in hundreds place, which is basically this logic. So here we are assuming that whenever you divide a number in steps 3 and 4, you are getting the quotient only in num2 and num4. So that we need to adjust in our program. And finally, we can print the numbers num1, which is a number in ones place, num3, number in tens place, and num4. So let's look at how we can write the program. Basically, we are going to write a Java program. So I have a class called as main class. I have function for main, public static void main, so instead of taking user from input, I am assigning one value to my variable. So the first we need to know what type of data type num should have. So if you look at all this num, num1, num2, num3, num4, we are assuming that all will have an integer values, because percentage operation will always give you an integer value in num1. Division operation, you want to get a quotient in num2, which is an integer. Similarly, percentage operation is in num3 and division operation in num4. So all these values are integer data type. So I should have int num, comma, num1, num2, num3, and num4. And then I can write my num1 is equal to, you can follow exactly step number 2, which is num divided by 10. Sorry, num percentage 10 semicolon, num2 is equal to num 1 divided by 10, and num3 is equal to num2 percentage 10, num4 is equal to num3 divided by 10. Then you need to print all these values. So printing the values with the variables is like this. You should have system dot out dot println ones place is equal to quotes, you need to give a plus, which is a concatenation operation with the string, plus the variable name. So my variable name is num1. So this will print ones place is equal to the value inside num1. Similarly, system dot out dot println tens place is equal to plus num3, and similarly you can write for num4. You need to close the braces for main function and main class. One thing you need to be careful here or you should understand is, let's say in third step, when you divide the number, let's say my number is 1, 2, 3. Let's say my num is 1, 2, 3. So when you calculate num2, that is 123 by 10, mathematically the answer is 112.3 mathematically. But since num2 is declared as int, an integer cannot take the decimal value, this decimal point will be truncated and be assigned to num2. Basically, the num2 will be 12, which is the quotient for the division. Similarly, when you do num4, so that you should understand from the program. Thank you.